Hi, welcome to your Otter Middle School class of personal development. Today we are going to explore what type of learner that you are. So there are three main learning styles. Those students that learn best with their eyes are called a visual learner. When students learn best with their ears or hearing, they're called an auditory learner. And if you learn best with your hands, you are called a kinesthetic or a tactile learner. For the purposes of today, we're going to use mostly the word kinesthetic. So I'm going to show you a video to tell you a little bit more about these three learning styles. So I hope as you were watching that, you were thinking, oh, that sounds like me, or that definitely isn't me, because what we are about to do is we are about to do a learning styles inventory. Now, I hope that your teacher in the classroom told you that you will need a piece of paper and a writing utensil for this lesson. So if you haven't been told that, get that out now because you are going to need a piece of paper. And you can label that piece of paper 1 through 14. There are going to be 14 multiple choice questions to help identify the learning style that works best for you. So question number 1. If I have to learn how to do something, I learn best when I, A, watch someone show me how, B, hear someone tell me how, or C, try to do it myself. So I want you to think, if you're just going to next to number 1, write an A, a B, or a C, whichever you think works best for you if you have to learn how to do something new. All right, question number 2. When I read, I often find that I, A, picture what I am reading in my mind. B, read out loud to hear the words inside my head. Or C, fidget and try to feel the content. Think about that and then write an A, B, or C next to number 2. Question number 3. When asked to give directions, I, A, see the actual places in my mind or prefer to draw them down. B, have no problem telling someone with good detail. Or C, have to point or move my body as I give them the directions. Are you A, B, or C when giving someone directions? Question number 4. If I am unsure how to spell a word, I, A, write it to see if it looks right. B, spell it out loud to hear if it sounds right. Or C, write it to determine if it feels right. If you are unsure how to spell a word, are you A, B, or C? Question number 5. When I write, I, A, am concerned how neat my letters and words appear. B, often say the letters and words to myself. Or C, push hard on my pen or pencil and can feel the flow of the words or letters as I form them. When you write. Question number 6. If I had to remember a list of items, I would remember them best if I, A, wrote them down, B, said them over and over to myself, C, moved around and used my fingers to name each item. If you had to remember a list of items, which strategy would work best for you, A, B, or C? Question 7. I prefer it when my teacher A uses the board or projector while talking, B talks with a lot of expression, or C uses hands-on activities. All right, you guys are halfway done. Question number 8. When trying to concentrate, I have a difficult time when A, there is a lot of clutter or movement in the room. B, there is a lot of noise in the room. Or C, I have to sit still for a significant length of time. When trying to concentrate, I have a difficult time when A, B, or C. Question number 9. When solving a problem, I, A, write or draw pictures to see it, B, talk myself through it, or C, use my entire body or move objects to help me think. When solving a problem. Question number 10. When given written instructions on how to build something, I, A, read them silently and try to picture how the parts will fit. B, read them out loud and talk to myself as I put them together. Or C, try to put the parts together first and then read later. When given written instructions on how to build something, are you a B, or a C? Question 11. To keep myself occupied while waiting, I, A, look around, stare, or read. B, talk or listen to others. C, walk around, play with an object, or move, shake my feet as I sit. And what do you do to keep yourself occupied while waiting? A, B, or C? Question 12. If I had to describe something out loud to another person, I would A, be brief because I do not like to talk for very long. B, go into great detail because I like to talk. Or C, gesture and move around while talking. If you had to describe something out loud to another person, would you be A, B, or C? Question number 13. If someone were describing something to me out loud, I would A, try to visualize or picture what he or she was saying. B, enjoy listening but want to interrupt and talk myself. Or C, become bored if his or her description got too long or detailed. What would you do if someone were describing something to you out loud? A, B, or C? And our final question, number 14. When trying to remember names, I remember A, faces, but forget names. B, names, but forget faces. Or C, the situation that I met the person rather than the person's name or face. I'm trying to remember someone's name. A, B, or C? All right, great job, everyone. I know that was kind of a little bit challenging. Some of those, I'm sure you were probably torn between two letters. But what I want you to do is go through your 14 answers, and I want you to tally how many A's you have, how many B's you have, and how many C's that you have. So whichever of these that you have the most of, that is your primary learning style. Now, sometimes we have situations where it's very obvious that you have a bunch of the same letter, where some of them you kind of have like a tie, where you might have 7 and 7. So you would have two different learning styles. And so any answer that was answer A means that you are a visual learner. That means that you learn by seeing it. Any answer of B means that you are an auditory learner, which means that you learn from saying it or hearing it. And then any answer of C means that you are a kinesthetic learner and that you learn by doing it, by hands-on activities. And like I said, it is totally possible to have a combination of these three learning styles. But what we do want to do is we want to delve a little bit deeper into what these mean to help you to be the very best learner that you can be. So in this video clip, there are some examples from 3 different movies. One of a visual learner, one of an auditory learner, and one of a kinesthetic learner.
Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
You watching it?
Yeah.
You seeing that, Ray? You catching it?
Yeah, falling on
Yeah?
the ground.
Okay, now what do I have left?
2 jacks, 1 8, 1 king, 1 6. 2 aces, 1 10, 1 9, 1 5.
1 5. You are beautiful, man.
When you focus on Kung Fu, when you concentrate, you stink. But perhaps that is my fault. I cannot train you the way I have trained the 5. I now see that the way to get through to you is with this.
Oh, great, because I'm hungry.
You are free to eat. Enjoy.
Hey!
I said you are free to eat. Have a dumpling.
You see that flame? Every time you pronounce the letter H correctly, the flame will waver, and every time you drop your H, the flame will remain stationary. That's how you'll know if you've done it correctly. In time, your ear will hear the difference. See it better in the mirror. Now, listen carefully. In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Now, repeat that after me. In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Oh, no, 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 no. No ear at all.
Shall I do it over?
No, please. Start from the very beginning. Just do this. Go, ha, 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 ha.
Ha, 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 ha.
Go on, go on, go on.
So after seeing some of those in some major motion pictures, let's talk a little bit deeper about what this would look like. So if you are a visual learner, some strategies that would be beneficial for you would be to sit near the front of the classroom. You're going to be seeing things, you want to be able to see them well. For studying, use flashcards because that way you can flip through and see them to help you learn new words. It's important to try to visualize things that you hear, things that you read. So using a lot of pictures in your mind. Write down keywords, ideas, or instructions. Make sure that you're using good notes because you're going to want to refer back to them and be able to look at them. In addition, it's important to draw pictures that can help you to explain new concepts, and then you can label them to help you to explain the pictures. That's a good note-taking strategy as well. In addition, try color coding things. You might already use this as an organization strategy. Sometimes, you know, we have like a red folder for science, but that can also be something you can do in your note taking using different colored pens or different colored highlighters. Those are all some good strategies for a visual learner. Now let's talk about an auditory learner. So an auditory learner learns best from hearing. So we want you to sit in a place where you can hear the best. Also using flashcards, but instead of just looking through them like a visual learner would, you're going to want to read them out loud so that way you can hear those words and those definitions. In addition, when you're studying, read out loud. Read your stories, assignments, or directions out loud. I know that's a little harder to do in your classroom, but that's a great study tactic for when you're at home. In addition, record yourself using spelling words, and then you can play it back and listen to the recording. So you're hearing it, you're saying it, and then you're hearing it. In addition, studying new material by reading it out loud. You're going to want to use a lot of things where you can hear sounds. That's going to help you to learn best. Now, I think many of you are probably kinesthetic learners, and so I hope that you are paying well attention as we talk about what some strategies would be for you. Now, a kinesthetic learner, we want you to participate in activities that involve touching, building, moving, or drawing whenever you can. We want you to do lots of hands-on projects like art projects or acting out stories, making sure that you're involving a lot of movement. Now, when you use flashcards, use them in groups, arrange them to show relationships between ideas. You know, put some over here and some over here, so that way you are moving about, not just sitting still. That's how you learn the best, is by movement. When it comes to spelling, a great strategy would be to trace words with your finger to learn spelling, rather than just reading them or hearing them. You need to use some kind of movement. In addition, sometimes it helps to fidget around a little bit. So maybe hold a pencil, shake your foot, touch your desk while you're learning. You learn best from the hands-on approach. Now, these are just a few strategies, but so what I want you to do for the remainder of our personal development class today is I want you to research a little bit more about your particular learning style. So use your technology, and I would suggest going to a search engine, and you can specifically type in visual learning strategies or auditory learning strategies or kinesthetic learning strategies to find out some more ideas that would work for you. Now, it's important to take notes of that, so you can use that same piece of paper that you just used your quiz notes on in order to jot down and take notes of some strategies that would work for you. Because this is going to be a really important part of middle school. There's going to be 7 teachers with 7 different expectations and 7 different ways of testing your knowledge. You want to be able to learn in the best way for you. So if you're a visual learner, you're going to want to use strategies to help you be the best learner that you can be. So you're going to use your eyes. If you're an auditory learner, you're going to want to use strategies that help you and feed to your strengths. And so you're going to want to listen and hear it. And then if you're a kinesthetic learner, you're going to want to learn by hands-on activities. So this is a really important topic, so that way you have the very best future that you can have. So I want you to start researching, and I can't wait to hear more about your different learning styles. Have a great rest of your day here at Otter Middle School.